Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Very warm welcome to all of you to this Big Cities webinar. My name is Rahul Poral. I head the marketing here at BigCity Promotions. Delighted to host today's session. Today, we are diving into a segment that's small in size, but massive in terms of influence. Kids mostly. So kids today, as we know, don't just consume brands. They influence purchases. They set trends. They even shape household decisions, right? Also, today's kids aren't just consumers. That most of them are digital natives, so they're online before they can even spell. My 4-year-old actually knows how to navigate through my iPhone and go all the way up to ordering something on Amazon. Thank God he doesn't know my credit card number. But that's how forward they are, right? So, but they switch between screens before faster than adults, and they're what shaping families today in terms of what they buy. So whether it is snacks to gadgets to stationery, everything, right? So, but marketing to them needs to be from a very different approach from a brand's point of view, has to be engaging, has to be ethical, and something that actually builds brand loyalty, right?
Right.
So to help us explore this space, I'm joined by two amazing leaders in this space. So we have Ankita Mahapatra, who's senior brand manager from ITC classmate. Ankita, give us a wave. Nice to have you here. And I also have Pranav Puri, who is the
Yes.
category
Hi,
manager from
everyone.
HP's home printing divisions, both representing brands that have, deep engagement with younger audiences here. So thanks for being here. And today's session is even more exciting because we're officially sort of launching our newest platform called Fun Points. It's a digital first reward based currency. More on that because it's very critical at this time as the back to school season's upon us. So we've built it with a lot of thought. Can't wait to give you guys the first look and show you what it's all about. Yeah. Okay, let's dive right in. But before that, folks, there is a Q&A button in your Zoom app. So whoever has questions, kindly put them along there, along with who the question is directed to. We'll take it at the end of the session when we have time, and we'll discuss it. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's start. Okay, so my first question is on the landscape. So Ankita, I would like you to take this first, and then maybe Pranav can add to this. So starting with the big picture, so it's a fast moving world where the kid is exposed to so much more than what we were exposed to when we were kids, and so many things online, so many things offline, that they're exposed to, from everything from sport to social media to digital to seeing stuff on hoardings. So what does this landscape look like for you today? And with all that the kids are exposed to, how is a brand like ITC looking at this landscape? And what is on your drawing board when you look at kids and start planning your marketing campaigns and strategies? Ankita, if you can go first.
Yeah. So very relevant question, Rahul. Like you basically said, digital today has become such an integral part in children's life. This is the major and the big key difference from how we were and how we interacted and how with the various platforms and the channels. And today, how the kids are actually seeing the entire world. The whole world is from the digital lens, whether they are on the phones continuously doing social media, or they are gaming and playing online with their friends. Even the gaming part has shifted from a completely offline model to a large part to an online model. Um, uh, and along with that, uh, yes, there is TV, there is an exposure from Western media via the OTT platforms. That is also becoming a huge and a big part of a children's life, which also sort of in a lot of ways imbibing in their culture, in their pop culture, in their regular slangs, and the way they're interacting with their peer groups and everyone, and how also the kind of the choices that they have regarding the products that they want, or the kind of characters they want to interact to. So like, for I mean, very small example is like K drama and K-pop has become such a huge. I mean, I think it has exploded in the last only 3 4 years, right? With the BTS coming into the picture, and Netflix and Prime and all basically bringing a slew of all the K dramas that has come. Similar thing can also be said about, say, anime, or even that whole range of anime characters and the world of anime with the Comic Con and all of that. That is a trend which is just rising and rising. On
Yeah.
the other hand, people are going beyond cricket. They're looking into Formula One racing, they're looking into badminton, they're looking into kabaddi, they're getting into more and more different sort of sports. So the trends that are coming up, it's a lot of the influence of what kids these days are seeing, interacting with, and how they're consuming all of that content. So I think that is how we also see them, we also view them, and then take it forward of how we want to incorporate in our products, in our own communication.
Very interesting. So not just one property, but they're engaging with many properties. So catch them everywhere. I get it. Understood. Understood. Pranav, if same question to you, what's the landscape at HP's printer divisions and your line of business? What is the landscape that you're currently tracking and
So
looking at from a
Rahul,
kid?
I think the landscape remains the same for HP as well. Because the medium there's so much content that the kids are consuming. So that's why really choosing the right platform that we engage the kids on through our campaigns become very important. And depending on if it's a gaming platform, it's an anime platform, or whatever we choose, we need to really have a different strategy for different platforms, I would say. And then, with a lot of content, coming into play, I think it's also, kids, the gatekeeping from the parents' side is also, become much more relevant, much more, important these days. So, when you are, when we are creating campaigns, we also have to, keep in mind, the kind of platforms we are choosing, the kind of parental gatekeeping that's going to be there, so that's I think that's really what I wanted to add, because otherwise it's all about choosing the right platform there.
Yeah, it's interesting. That actually is a good segue into my next question, Pranav, that you brought it up with parents doing all the gatekeeping for the kids, because there's so much that's out there in terms of content, whether it is online or offline. How do you make sure that they're not seeing what they shouldn't see, right? Or what they're not consuming, what they shouldn't be consuming? So, I mean, in your space and both your spaces, of course, there's a dual audience kind of a scenario, right? So it's not just the kid who you're marketing to, but there is a decision maker who's paying for it. So there is the parent as well, right? So how do you ensure that you marketing your products both to children and parents? How do you get the balance right in terms of ensuring both the parents and the child are engaged and excited? Because there is a fair bit of engagement that the parent also needs to have, so that they know where to swipe their card at the end of the day. Pranav, what do you think? Do you have something to add on that, if you can, please?
So, now, something that, this question really reminds me about is, right now, now, nagging in the store has gone away. During our times, we used to just nag in the store, lie on the
That's the
floor,
pleasure.
asking for a product. So that has not now gone away. Rather, it is now transformed into digital pestering, I would say. Kids these days, directly, forward the link to buy a product to the parents, or maybe just send out an unboxing video that, hey, this is what I'm looking for. So the way kids demand products from their parents has become very different. But at the same time, like you said, it's very important for all the campaigns to have a dual messaging. Like, for example, if to kid, we are just giving a playfulness kind of messaging, it has to ensure that at the same time there is messaging going to the parent that, hey, this is maybe a STEM certified, or maybe this is the value that's that our product is going to bring to your kid. Or another example could be, if you are giving some kind of gratification or rewards to a kid, at the same time, parents need to be reassured that, hey, the product, it's also going to add to, maybe a social development, or maybe emotional development, or academic development of the child. So all the
Got it.
campaigns now need to carry that dual messaging. And then again, in terms of platforms, it has to have a very different approach when you are approaching a kid or a parent, and both these platforms need to carry a different messaging altogether. So yeah, it's become more complex now, but it's getting interesting as it can get.
Awesome, awesome. Ankita, what about for a brand like yours, for ITC Classmate with a wide range of stationery products that are being sold? Is the ice easy to break? Is the challenge the same when it comes to parents and kids both being dual audiences that you need to market to?
The challenge remains exactly how I think Pranav articulated it. But before I answer this question, I would like to show a small video, and then maybe I will come back and I will answer the question. Right?
Sure, sure. We would love that.
1 घंटा मैंने खेल लिया, क्या अब मैं पढ़ाई कर लूं? फाइनली पार्टिंग इज सो बोरिंग, उससे अच्छा मैं पढ़ाई कर लेती हूँ। राइट हैंड में फ्रैक्चर है, मैं लेफ्ट हैंड से पढ़ लूंगी। वर्ल्ड कप तो 4 साल में फिर आ जाएगा, अभी पढ़ाई कर लेता हूँ। एंजॉय द गेम। ईशानी बेटा, सोने के लिए तो पूरी जिंदगी पड़ी है मॉम।
बच्चे अब सीखने के बहाने देंगे। आ गया नया क्लासमेट एड्यू गेम्स इन्फिनिटी। नोटबुक स्कैन करो, एड्यू गेम्स खेलो और बन जाओ अंदर से शार्प। एड्यू गेम्स इन्फिनिटी बाय क्लासमेट।
The core message essentially over there was that, a kid is pestering a parent that, you know what, I've played enough, I've had fun enough, let me just please go and sit and study. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, my next question, Ankita, is again to you, and this is to do with the trends that are currently going on, right? And from a brand like yours, I'm sure you guys look for trends, you try to spot them, and you try to do something about it, right? So, just want to check from an ITC classmate point of view, uh, where do you look for trends? Firstly, what kind of trends? How do you spot them? And what do you do about these trends and how do you use them in your marketing strategies? If you can just throw some light about that, because a brand like yours, I'm sure most of it is based on, I mean, some part of it may be based on what's currently running out there in the world that you probably want to harness. So if you can just talk about it quickly, that'll be great.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think you have picked up the right topic and the right theme, Rahul. So, trends. When it comes to trends, there is a lot of the international, reputed global partners and agencies that we basically go to, and we look into what are the kind of the different trends. So, one of the reports that we usually do subscribe to is something called as WGSN. It is one of the international reputed partners who basically forecast and predict what is going to be the trend for the coming year. And not just, and they do it across industries, right? From the apparel to interior decorations to home decor to stationery. And it cuts across the industries and all. And hence it gives us a much more of a holistic perspective on the kind of the colors, the kind of the themes and the various things. So they usually are processes that we look at those international trends, the global trends. Sometimes if there is a domestic trend that is, upcoming and going. So we'll take those trends, we'll take those themes out of that. And then around that, there will be a lot of the design language that will be made. Since one major faction of our business is notebooks, and notebooks is very much like, behaves like an apparel industry, where the designs keep changing, the cover designs keep changing every season. So for us also, every year is a new season that we are going into the market, and hence every year it becomes a fresh new variety of the designs that we are coming up with. And yes, it is it is very much inspired by these international designs and the international trends. The other things, obviously, and are obviously, like I basically said, that there are certain pop culture references or certain
Correct.
other trends that are coming up that also get sort of, we see how can we inculcate those into our designs and all. And yes, that you will see in our products in various other ways, like, how our notebook designs have been changing year after year. And, over there are like so many things that are there. In fact, some of it is also sort of adapted in our communication. So if you're saying that our audience has become much more tech savvy, has become much more, adept at using technology and mobile phones and all. So should a print communication be just a print communication? Should it just be an advertisement on a piece of paper? Or can we make it much more of an experience, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, if I'm doing some outdoor activation, should I just put up a billboard? No. Can I make it into a sort of an experience? So those are the things that, that really helps you take that one extra step towards your audience, towards your consumer, that they can relate to, that they can engage with, and that sort of has a percolating effect of
Yeah,
how it
I see
happens.
that. In fact, the notebooks that you guys have are so much more colorful and beautiful looking than what we studied with. Our notebooks just had the brand name on top.
Actually, I have an entire deck where I can show. I have actually kept it, that I wanted to show a little bit of how even we sort of have evolved into in our design language and our design thinking and all. But I thought that maybe with the paucity of time, I'll keep it towards the end. If somebody wants to see, I will definitely show
Sounds
them.
good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks for that. Thank you. Pranav, what about you? What are the trends that you guys are tracking and how do you spot them? Where do you spot them? What do you guys do about it? If you can just talk about
See,
that.
Ankita, nailed it. But then, there is something that I personally believe. Luckily, all my friends now are parents from, age 3 to maybe 10, 15. So the best way to do is whenever I go to the places, I just watch whatever the kids are watching, whether on the parents' phone. Because usually what happens is when you go to your friend's house, the kids come and ask for the phone so that they don't disturb the parents and they can let them, talk to me. So I tend to spend time with the kid, understand what they're watching, what are the trends there, because that gives a lot of insights to what actually is happening. I never knew about there's a thing called Bleepy or Choo Choo TV or Coco Melon. So you really need to spend time with the kids and understand what they are actually watching, and then also talking to the parents. Luckily, since all my friends are all, in that phase. So I also talk about them in terms of what do they think about maybe digital wellness, digital well-being, how much time you're allowing your kids to watch consume content or phone or WhatsApp or TV. So talking to people really gives insights to what's really happening. Otherwise, because we are not a kids only brand, right? But what we are trying to do here is we are trying to pitch our products, create more value to our products, more than just the product, in terms of making them educational, edutainment, you can say, and ensuring that the products are eco-friendly, because eco-friendly environmental consciousness is there, eco-friendly coolness is it's a new trend in kids. So all of this that we're trying to imbibe in our products. Quick example, what we're trying to do here is also like in printers. So one of the charter here is that we are driving print penetration across the country. It's very low now. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to ensure that we are bundling a printer with kids learning, in the form of we've partnered with we've our own set of content which we call Print Learn Center, which we give it for free to the kids, wherein they can buy a lot of learnings through coloring books, through problem solving, puzzle solvings, games, and all of that. So that one, it also helps HP's business, in terms of getting more revenue when the customer is printing more, and at the same time giving value back to the customer in terms of giving learning bundled with my product, which enables it's not just a product, there's more value being attached to the product.
So, Pranav, you also have an audience. I mean, the kids who consume home printing solutions start from a certain age. I'm sure people till the fifth grade may or may not. That may be a very small audience for you, but anything from like a mid to all the way up to college audiences is where the home printing solutions really go for it. Are there different trends that you guys spot for different age groups, or you guys look at it as let's look at what trends are there around kids from this age to fully this age, and let's just go with that? Is that how you guys do that? Sorry,
Definitely
just
has to be. So it definitely has to be, targeted basis what kind of demographics we are, addressing. Like for example, the grown-up kids who are into gaming, maybe a product placement within a game would help. Maybe in a Call of Duty, maybe if I place a printer or maybe a laptop, which is branded with HP, which is HP branded, would help. So it's definitely, we need to be wary of the demographics that we are catering to. So yeah.
understood. Understood. Thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. So moving on to the next question, and Pranav, you can take this one to start with.
Sure.
Our competitor brands. Let's just talk about competition, and I'm sure there are a bunch of competition brands that you guys are currently tracking, who are providing similar solutions like you. Uh, I mean, how are these competitor brands impacting your marketing strategies? I mean, let's face it, today's landscape, there are a lot of D2C brands also who are coming in on a weekly basis, providing these things. If you can just talk about how competition is shaping your marketing strategy currently, that would be, we'll take it from there.
Okay. So, see, firstly, it's because everyone is now digital, right? Earlier, it used to be more about if you're getting a billboard at the most prime place, you've won half of the battle. But that's not the case now. If you earlier it used to be like if you have your product at the newspaper front page, you are there. You have cracked half of it. But now it's all about digital mastery. You have to have your team working on the toes to hook on to the new trends coming in, you know,
Correct.
as early the better. So everything is has become it's become very agile. The team has to be very agile. Secondly, you really need to know you really need to get niche to your positioning, what your unique value position is, how you're differentiated from the product. You really need to be very clear about it and ensure that you are communicating to the same. You need to know what target audience you're catering to, through what platforms you're catering to, because it you can't spend across all the platforms there. And then
Correct.
it also becomes very important to like I said, hooking on to the trends, but then at the same time collaborating with the right set of influencers or micro influencer before anyone else can get there.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And then lastly, one thing that I wanted to add here, Rahul, is because the campaigns now are becoming very smart. We have all the data there. So the team that's working on mining those data, understanding the trends, and then analyzing on what really needs to be done, at what stage of the journey we need to target customer, where we're
Correct.
lacking needs to be really analyzed and acted upon. So that is what we are doing. We primarily, you can say, we are trying to leverage data to just stay ahead of the competition in terms of whether it's trends or the way we run our campaigns.
Leveraging data. That's interesting. Okay, got it. Ankita, what about you? I mean, today when we go to a stationery shop, there are a bunch of notebooks and a lot of choices, some branded, some unbranded. I'm sure you guys are up against quite a lot of competition, which is both from a organized sector and an unorganized sector. How do you view competition, and how are you changing your marketing strategies based on that?
I think it's a very important and yet very difficult question. So the great thing about Classmate is that uh, uh, we are a clear-cut market leader in one of the categories, which is the notebook, and we are a challenger brand in a lot of the other stationery categories that we are present in. And hence the strategy that we adapt for both of these segments are very, very different. So like taking notebooks, for example, where we are already the market leader, the challenge over there is that how do we always stay ahead of the curve? How do we always stay ahead of the competition? And hence
Correct.
it becomes extremely crucial and extremely uh, relevant for us to keep looking outside, keep looking always into what's new, what's different, what can I bring onto the table that has not been done before, right? So in the Classmate notebooks, you will find a variety of the propositions that we have tried out, that we are giving to our students. Like there's a whole world of augmented reality, learning through augmented reality, teaching them a little bit of DIY craft through origami, or something else, or just playful some tactics, using Disney Marvel characters and also to keep their interest going. The reason, and this is something that we are always constantly doing, whether it's even in the spiral notebooks and all of that. Can
Yeah.
we have colored spirals? Can we have soft spiral? Can we have something different? Can we have certain differentiated products that will always keep me ahead of the curve, right, of the competition? And that is my biggest challenge. How do I do something that not only that it is something different, but uh, that is difficult to sort of replicate by someone else, so that I can always keep on commanding not just a leadership but also a premium in the market. Classmate has
Yes.
always been known for its premium products, for its premium quality products. So today, when everything else has become parity, how do I still maintain that leadership position? How do I still maintain that differentiation position, right? When it comes to other stationery categories and all, I think we are more of a challenger brand. So here it gives us more of an opportunity to look at the other players, at the legacy players, at the legacy brands. Like for very example, I would say that in pens or geometry box categories, right?
Yes.
There were a certain category codes and a category norm, how pens were always designed, how geometry boxes, what when I grew up with a Camlin that yellow
Yeah.
box
Yeah.
and all, right?
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
our entire generation has literally grown up on that particular box. But today, there is a new brand called Norms which has come, and they brought in this whole new concept of, let me give a lot of colors into the geometry boxes. Let me give you color coordinated components and all. Something that they just broke the category codes of the industry itself, and now today that has become the norm. So
Yeah.
now that is something which was very interesting to learn from a competition. And then, now that I have taken something, how can I do better? Can I go one step further? So that I think a good competition, a healthy competition also helps the companies and the brands to kind of like grow and to become better and to give to provide better solutions and better products to our consumers, to our audience.
Understood. I think I have a quick follow-up question based on what you just
Sure.
said. I've noticed DOMs and what they've been doing currently.
Yeah.
How much of visual appeal actually goes a long way compared to form and functionality in today's time? I'm sure that's the puzzle you guys must be looking at when I look at all these colorful looking compasses and dividers, which we never got, ours which is black and steel in nature.
Exactly. So that was, like I said, that was not something that was even expected or, that we were looking for.
Yeah.
Some things, maybe we never really put a lot of thought into the visual appeal, but I think we sort of somewhere always forgot that these are kids that we're dealing with, and the first thing that kids basically play with are colors.
Correct.
And the variety of the colors and the variety of how much of the plethora of the option that you can give to them. And somewhere when basically DOMS basically brought that into the table, but not just DOMS, no matter, I mean, any company, any brand, the moment they bring something, lot of colorful, something with a lot of visual appeal and all of that, that will definitely resonate much more with the kids audience than anything
Yeah.
else. Today, that visual appeal has become so much stronger that it gives the student a much more higher pestering power than a parent today has on
Yeah.
dictating their terms. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Influence
I
is
think
greater.
yes, and I think obviously, like we also spoke before, the kids of these days have also become much more mature, much more understanding, much more opinionated about what they want, and much more vociferous about what they want and what their preferences are, and how
True.
they want to be seen, how they want to be seen among their peer group and all. So yeah, I think
True.
all of this have a huge role to play.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for that. Thank you. Pranav, my next question's to you. And this is around, I just want to discuss the short-term marketing initiatives and long-term marketing initiatives that brands usually plan. I'm sure you guys would have planned, a couple of short-term marketing activities that you would have done around your brand. And there obviously is a long-term one as well. But if you can give me some examples or a success story around, a short-term or a long-term campaign that you've run, and I want to quickly understand how they both come together. Where do they meet somewhere so as to engage this audience and build that brand messaging strongly with your consumers?
Sure. So, see, Rahul, a brand like HP, we try and connect with the customer, with the child. Let's say, today's we're only focusing on children, so we're trying to engage with them right when he starts going to school. Maybe when he starts using a laptop, rather, when he gets homework, he uses printout. To maybe to a level when he goes to a higher education where he needs another laptop. He goes to college, maybe he opts for a gaming laptop or maybe another printer, and then eventually, even if when he goes to starts his own startup, or maybe going to job, then again he's
Correct.
latched on to using HP. So the customer journey, for us, we try to ensure that we capture, a child early on, and then we try to keep him engaged, right till the end. Having said that, in the kids space, currently what we are following is, in the long term, we're trying to have, a hook for a customer to ensure that he's engaged right from the beginning to, till the time he's starting his job. But then there are seasonalities, where we try and ensure that, we bump up the sales going on. If let's say a children, wasn't really looking to refresh his laptop or a printer, he goes about it considering the discounts that we are offering. So, the back to school, back to college, seasonality becomes really important, that, our campaigns there are really on point. We are winning there, whether it is
Correct.
on e-com, whether it is on large format, or inside our own stores, HP Worlds, and, our own website even. So that's one of the biggest season, when it comes to consumer brands, especially, around kids. And then the second season, here in India, the biggest one is, it's around the festive season around Diwali, where, a lot of, refresh in terms of consumer durables, not just laptops or printers, but, across, whether it's phones, TVs, fridges, everything. So we try to, capitalize on that the best. And then ensure whatever events, our partners are running, whether it is, sale days on Amazon, sale days on a large format, big billion days, whatever it is, we try to ensure we maximize on that one. So that's the strategy that we've been following. So the shorter ones ensure that they give us that, blip of sale, but the longer ones ensure that we are the most preferred brand, as when it comes to our customers.
So, and the long-term one is mostly driven and bolstered by all your digital campaigns, ad campaigns, and everything that basically draw the
Yes.
long-form loyalty from a brand's perspective.
Right.
Short-term are, like you said, BTS and festive is back to school and festive, and those micro events which you capitalize on to bring more sales. Is that correct?
Exactly, Rahul. We also do a loyalty program for kids in the long term. Not just kids, but overall customers in the long term, wherein, if you buy from, usually, brands tend to do that, within their own shopping environment, which, their own brand stores, their own online stores, wherein, we give HP loyalty points. So they just come buy HP and they get, the more they buy, the better discounts they get over a period of time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Also, to add, we also do a lot of exchange programs wherein, if you had bought an HP printer in the past, you want to refresh it, we'll give you great discounts. Same with laptops.
Understood, understood. Got it, got it. Thanks, Pranav. Thanks for that. Ankita, just wanted to pick your brains also on, say, a short-term program or a long-term program that you have taken up for ITC Classmate, and also trying to understand, how you strike a balance between these long and short-term programs that you're currently running for your consumers. If you can give
Um,
an example, if there
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, sure, definitely. So, Classmate fortunately has been a brand. So it was, I mean, Classmate was established back in 2008, and I think for the first 5 to 6 years, the only messaging and the only communication that we focused on, and right from the top to the bottom. And when I say bottom, I mean from this to the sales team, sort of percolating it forward to the trade and to the retailers and to the consumers, was that Classmate is all about a superior quality product. The kind of the paper that we give you, the kind of the quality that we give you, that is a promise that no one else can basically hold. And
Mm.
that is something that as a messaging, it kind of continued for a really long time and helped instill that brand value in the mind of the consumers, which is why even today, when you go and you ask anyone that why would they want to purchase a Classmate notebook, the consistent answer is because they give me the best quality paper. So that I think is an overarching theme and an overarching messaging that we have been able to do over a very long from the inception of our brand journey, which has helped somewhere in creating the brand that we are today. I mean, just to give you a little bit of metrics, our top of mind for Classmate is actually 67. Uh, that is something that is almost kind of like unheard of. That is extremely high. That is almost saying like Apple in the category of phones or laptops. It's
Yeah,
almost as high as that. So notebook is almost very synonymous with classmate, and a lot of the efforts has gone into building it has been via these long-term marketing campaigns, which we have sort of propagated over the years. Now, while going from a very functional point of view, today we have come and evolved to a much more evolved messaging of enjoy learning, which is all about that, classmate is going to be your partner in making the learning much more fun, so that you don't get bored by it, or you enjoy the whole learning process. And now today that has become our core messaging, which then you will see percolating it across our various products or communication or everywhere
correct.
else that we are talking about. So whether it is in our product, like I already gave examples that we are playing along with augmented reality or DIY, that is also somehow making your learning fun. There is
Correct.
the last page trivia that we have taken and made it
See
into a
that.
more gamified sort of a platform. We have made it like a leaderboard. We have made it like a competition among students. Ki, hey, you know what? You can learn and you can have fun. Play games, compete with your friends, and win certain rewards and all. The entire objective in the whole classmate journey has always been ki, how can I make learning for you much more fun than what you're having right now, right?
Yeah,
Apart from that, of course, there are certain long-term initiatives, there are certain long-term programs that we undertake as a brand that will help us build certain long-term associations with the brand. For
correct.
example, there is this flagship program that we have of Classmate called a Classmate All-Rounder program. This is a school outreach program where we basically go to different schools across the India. We go and we conduct certain these different tests across their various skill sets, whether it is something
Interesting.
related to educational background, or whether it is co-curricular activities or some extracurricular, so whether it's sports, fitness, debate, talking, extempore. There's a whole variety of the skills that we are exploring, and the winners that emerge out of it are the true all-round potential students that we have in the country. So
That's a
that
long
is
term.
something up. Yeah, it's a much more, it's something, I mean, the best equivalent example that I can think of in my mind is the Born with a quiz contest that used to happen when I was a kid, right?
Yeah,
How kids from students from different schools would sort of participate into the quiz contest, and but that was more restricted to only the quiz. Over here, because classmate is more about the all-round development of a student, over here we are trying to assess the more all-round potential of a student, and then rewarding the ones who have potential,
yeah,
right? So yes, that is a much more of a long-term program. Of course, we do keep interacting and keep engaging with the school students and the college students on a yearly basis, like the BTC, the Back to College program that we talk about. At the beginning of the college, we set up some of our certain platforms and all across various colleges to go and interact with the college students personally, so that we can do that. We can get certain learnings out of there. Classroom also has a D2C platform that we have set up to basically make some personalized notebooks if you want for
I've
you
seen
and
that
your
on
kids.
your website. I can design my own book. That's very interesting.
Correct. Your own notebook, not just with your own photo and your video, but also with your own quotation and anything. Like your design your own t-shirt, we have made a design your own notebook. So all of these properties, I think somewhere or the other help uh, build that entire equity of the brand that we're trying to build. And like short term, the campaign that we just discussed about, this small TV ad that I wanted to show you. It's about this new feature that we have introduced about that last page trivia, which has become this gamified sort of a platform. This is something very new feature that we have introduced. So yes, it's a new feature. So there will be certain campaigns we'll do around it, right? So there will be certain TV campaigns and print campaigns. So
Yeah,
this is more of a short term about building this particular feature. But from a long-term angle, it is more about what does classmate really stand for?
correct.
What do we really for? And that does not just come in the communication bit, but that is something that you will see in in every part about the product. And that's how I think we build brands. Right?
That's really interesting. That's thanks for that insight. I think you have clearly told us what your short term, how ITC Classmate looks at short term and long term initiatives. Makes perfect amount of sense actually. So at Big City, you know what we also do is we've had the privilege to sort of run hundreds of different programs, both short term and long term, and we've noticed they have very different kind of impacts, right? So, for example, but one pattern definitely stands out when you look at short-term programs. They're brilliant at sort of driving acquisition, driving activation, or it could be to sort of increase immediate spends. But at the long term, on the other hand, what we see is it truly sort of builds brand loyalty over time, and that's pretty much what you guys also gun for from a short-term and a long-term initiative. But in the programs that we have run, what we have also noticed, and since you guys know Big City is also into running reward programs for brands and stuff, what we have seen is the magic always comes down to one thing. It's the relevance of the reward that we are giving to the customers and how appealing it should be and how engaging it is. And when it comes to kids specifically, after running all these campaigns, we have also consistently seen that the activities based rewards, stuff which are around hobbies, experiences and skills, they make for the most appealing rewards that kids really want to. And let's face it, I mean, in today's world, they're parent approved. Parents are also okay making sure that the reward is something around an activity instead of it being a another digital gift voucher, for example, right? While they're also there, but these are parent approved at the end of the day. We've done this in the past. We have worked with brands like Alan Solly, where we created Alan Solly Juniors Explorers Club. And this was a young audience. We went and we partnered with our reward partners who gave skating, dancing, horse riding, and activity based rewards. And we aggregated that, we curated that, and we gave it to consumers who walked into the store and purchased kids range of Alan Solly clothes. We also did that with another FMCG brand called Protein X Grow, right? So there again, we gave activities around sports, science, arts, and this was done for a trial-based MTO program for a modern trade outlet, right? So we've seen this, and this is exactly the real-world learning that has inspired us to actually build something a lot more bigger, something where I can combine the magic of these kids' activities, ease of digital, and the excitement of rewards into one seamless platform. So what we have done is we have launched something called Fun Points. Just a second. Yeah, since we're also approaching the back to school season, I think one of the biggest shopping windows for kids and parents, I think the big question for brands is how do we drive repeat purchases, loyalty, and engagement in this crowded space, right? So that's where Fun Points comes in. And we are launching this for the first time on this webinar. So I'm very excited about it. It's Fun Points is typically a rewards platform and a gift currency that is digital in nature, that's designed specifically for brands who want to engage their kids and parents, right? So it's very simple. Customers buy your product, they scan a unique code or scan a QR code on the pack. They instantly earn Fun Points and they redeem it on exciting activities around sports, hobby classes, fitness experiences, entertainment, and much more. So we've gone out there and we have partnered with a lot of these different partnerships across the country, including your Cult and your Sehwag's Cricket Academy, and even Baichung Bhutia's football schools. And this I'm able to sort of deliver this to brands as part of their offering currently, and the customers can actually go into this app and redeem experiences that are around these partners, right? And easily covers close to about 35-40 cities and up is the offering that we currently have, right? Typically, brands are looking to boost sales, and this helps by sort of adding a real instant value to every pack that is being sold, drives repeat purchases. Kids want more points, parents want more rewards, and with this platform, you can also gain a lot of customer insights. You can get rich data in terms of customer preferences, your repeat purchase behavior, and demographic based splits. All that's possible, and at the end of it, you're also giving relevant rewards to customers around the activities that they really want, right? And what this also does is we've also made in such a way that this is a a web app kind of a platform that is being made, and this is easy to integrate into your existing marketing campaigns that are currently running. So you can do it both online and off. So for example, you can add this seamlessly onto your on-pack promotions, POS materials, packaging, or you can even weave it into your advertising callouts. And if you want to do it on a digital form, you can provide fun points on social media. You can give it on emailers or SMS. It can be given both in a QR code form or a unique code form, right? So you just go into this app, scan the QR code, it automatically adds the points onto your Fun Points wallet. And the thing is, Fun Points can be run across various brands, so you can collect Fun Points from anywhere, or you can run it on one single brand and all its SKUs under it as well. But at the end of the day, you're getting points that you can now go and redeem on a specific set of activity-based rewards that we have curated, right? So how it works is, so customer typically buys the product from your retail store, uh, goes into the Fun Points web app that we have, or it can even be made into an app, scans the Fun Points sticker or the code, right? Directly, instantly adds points onto your Fun Points platform, go and redeem it. So instant gratification, collectability, both those things that kids really love, is bringing higher engagement. That's typically the premise at which Fun Points has been built, and this is what we've built lately. And another big advantage, like I was talking about reporting, is that beyond rewards and engagement, I think it's the kind of data and insights that brand wants. And we have also noticed, we've worked with brands, and they would like to understand what kind of engagement is happening and what kind of trackability is possible with something like this. So this is built in a way that we can track everything. So it can track sales, your scans, redemptions. It can scan across products, retailers, and even regions. So you get complete visibility on how to tweak your marketing strategies based on a live campaign that's running. So that's typically what we've done. And obviously, this comes from the house of BigCity. So we've been around for the last about 16 years. We've been doing this for, across 5,000 different programs. So everything's secure, everything's seamless, integrates with your with your campaigns that are currently running. So if you guys or if anyone else on this call who's are looking for a ready to go solution that creates these kind of programs for your back to school season, I think Fun Points is it. So if you guys want to know more, you can visit the website called myfunpoints.com, or you can email us at marketing@bigcity.in, and we can take it from there, and we'll reach out to you and we can show you a demo of how this works and how we can also talk about how we can integrate it into your existing systems that are currently running. I think we have some time in terms of how much back to school is there. So I think it's the right time to sort of start planning for brands now. So yeah, so that's typically what I wanted to talk about. And let me just check if there are any questions from the Q&A desk that I can check. Just give me a second. I think we have one question that has come. Okay, I think this is a question for both of you. Pranav, maybe you can take this first. So someone's asked us, how does fostering creativity align with brand mission or marketing strategy? Can you give some examples? How does fostering creativity align with brand mission or marketing strategy? Hello, Pranav, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I was speaking on mute. So, one campaign that comes to top of my mind, not our industry, but it was the Fevicol campaign. They've been having amazing storylines, super creative at the same time, demonstrating their brand value that, it sticks. Another one, I think, Surf Excel has a very good
Yeah,
one here. Raising responsible children. It's creative and and at the same time, it conveys the brand communication. What they really stand for. That you don't need to worry about any dogs. So these are the two that come on top of my mind. Yeah.
awesome, awesome. Ankita, what about you? Can you give us an example, or how does fostering creativity align with brand missions and your marketing strategy?
I think this our the way classmate has been built upon, we have always, I think, believed very strongly on how do we develop uh, uh, the skills, the individual skills of a student, and can it, how can we become a partner in their entire journey of learning and all. So even if I basically start from something, from the last page trivia that you basically see in every classmate notebook, it started with trivia, classmate, the brand giving small facts about the whole world, about the various species, which then evolved into these small games that they can play.
Yeah.
These are crossword puzzles, or these are Sudoku or something else. And today it has evolved and become so much more. So I think, and till the state, if you go and if you ask any student who has been a user of Classmate that why do they prefer Classmate, of the various answers and the responses they will give, one of the very core, one of the top three answers over there will be like, oh, I love playing the games on the last page of the Classmate notebook, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of shows that, how integral that part is, that small area that they have
Yeah.
found where they can doodle, where they can play games, where they are probably, interacting and engaging also with their neighbor, neighboring friend, or, somewhere who's sitting next to them. That forms a very small and integral part of their entire learning journey as well. So I might not finish the notebook, but I'll definitely finish those games on the first 2 days of me buying the notebook, right?
I think the
I think
first day
all
of
of
getting
that, what is it? Correct. And I think all of this basically what it tells is, that creativity, that curiosity that we are getting engaged. I mean, bringing it out in the students. It what connects to them much more than any of the other reward system and the whole world of the things. So the
absolutely.
parents might be buying it for the price, they might be buying it for the quality, but the kids definitely buy it for the games that they can play along.
Last pages were certainly the most creative pages of any notebook that I have seen.
Exactly.
All the doodling
Exactly.
and everything that we did. Yeah,
Right.
that's really interesting, and it's great that you guys have a leaf for that as part of the book. Thanks for answering that, both of you. So I have another question. Is Fun Points only for back to school campaigns, or can we run it after? Of course, this I'll take. Fun Points can be run throughout. It's not specific to back to school. But what we are saying is, since back to school is upon us, I think this is the right time to execute that. And also, there are activities that kids can keep engaging. And what we're also doing is we keep refreshing these activities that are there. And so now is a good time for kids to engage with those activities. But activities will always stay, Fun Points will always stay, and they can run through the year or at specific times, not having a back to school excuse alone. It can be run independently as well. So that's possible. Okay, so we don't have any more questions. So we're good. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for this wonderful webinar. Thank you, Ankita. Thank you, Pranav, for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to both of you. Thank you for your insights from HP and from ITC classmate. Uh, Wishing you all the best with whatever campaigns that you guys are doing. I would also like to thank the crew that's made this possible for us, and everyone who's joined us today. Thanks a lot for joining us today. I hope you found this a lot insightful. We're going to have many more of these coming up in the further series as part of Big City webinar editions. Please watch this space, watch LinkedIn. We'll send you a lot more updates there. Hope to see you on the next one. Yeah. Thank you, Pranav. Thank you,
Thanks,
Ankita.
Rahul, for having us. Bye. Bye.
Have
All
a
the best, everyone.
Bye bye. It was fun.
Thank you. Bye.